You know that feeling of someone watching you? That hair raising on your neck, the chills that go all the way down your spine. It's just like being creeped out. And you're looking around and you're trying to find out what's looking at you, but you just can't tell. That's a bad feeling. Now, what if I told you that someone's watching you right now? What if I told you that as you're listening to me speak, someone could be looking at you through the camera on your computer screen? The camera like this one right here. Did you know that 1 in 2 Americans are unaware that their camera can be remotely accessed by someone else? That's 159 million Americans. Now, this problem has arisen because of the increases in technology. There's cameras on your iPad, on your computer, on your phone, front and back. They can be used to Skype, Snapchat, FaceTime. These things are great for us, but they can also be a huge problem with privacy. Many of you have already heard about Edward Snowden and how he leaked lots of information, and the government, how they've been spying on people for a lot of years. So, obviously, that's the government, right? They have a lot of resources, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of people to keep secrets and to be able to do these things. But what if I told you that someone could do that in their backyard, in their garage? Someone could do that just like you. It's not hard. One teen actually talks about how he was able to hack into over 100 computers. He said there was lots of tutorials online. He said someone even offered to create the virus for free. The tactic he used is called clickjacking. So in a sense, it's like those ads that pop up in the middle of your screen when you don't want them to be there. And you click the X and they go away. Well, underneath this X is an invisible button that plants a virus into your computer. And what that virus is called a RAT, a remote access Trojan. And what that does is it gives access to your computer and to the camera. Now, many of you say, well, I have a MacBook or I have another computer and the light lights up when the camera comes on, so I'm going to know when someone's watching me. Well, you're wrong. The camera is not actually hardwired directly into the light, so people can work around that and disable the light, so they can access the camera without you even knowing it. There's been a big case that just recently came out about Jared Abrahams, who's age 20, and he got sentenced to prison because he was taking pictures of several women around the U.S., including Miss Teen USA, as she was undressing. And then he ended up posting naked pictures of her all over the internet and social media. Obviously, he was sent to prison, which is good, but this just shows how easy it was for him to get in, and she had no idea her privacy was violated, humiliated, because these naked pictures were posted all over. So, you don't want to be one of these victims. So how are you going to prevent this? Well, there's a few easy tips. Obviously, stay clothed in front of a camera. Simple. But keeping your software up to date is also very important. And if you're not using your computer, don't leave the lid open or don't leave it on your desktop. Close the lid, turn off your computer, disable your camera. But one thing that's going to work for sure is what I personally use, a sticky note or piece of tape or a Band-Aid. Some places even sell little clip-on camera blockers, and you can slide a door across your camera to block it and slide it back open when you're not using it or when you want to use it again. Very simple, and it blocks your camera. So the way it works is simply that. The person can't see you because you covered up your camera. So, you're convinced. You want to be safe. You want to cover. So, if you're going to do this, if you're going to follow my plan that I'm suggesting, you're going to have greatly reduced paranoia. You're not going to be so worried about someone watching you. That horrible feeling that you get when someone's creeping on you is not going to be a factor because you know you're safe because you've covered up your camera. Also, it's going to protect you and the people that are around you, and not just emotionally from having potential private pictures posted on the internet, but physically as well. Believe it or not, criminals actually use this technology to access information about you. They can watch when you wake up, when you go to bed, if you have a dog, how many people live in your house, where you live, credit card information if it's there in front of the camera. All these things they can use to either physically harm you, rob you, or steal your identity. So protect yourself. Don't be part of those Americans who are unaware of this issue. So, the next step, what do you do? Well, for my audience today, I brought sticky notes, which is what I use. Very simple. 75 cents is all you got to spend to protect yourself. And I'll pass these out at the end. But I greatly suggest you using these to cover up your computer camera. Some people say, oh, it's inconvenient, or it's not going to work when I want to Snapchat or FaceTime or Skype. And it could be a little bit inconvenient, but is it going to save you paranoia and a lot of potential harm in the future? Yes. So in order for this to work, you need to be accountable to yourself. When you take off that sticky note, make sure that you put it back on, because the one time you forget could be the one time that someone's watching you. So don't be the next victim like Miss Teen USA. Cover up your camera.